people talk about the threat to democracy that Trump poses, do you really think that is an equal evil to Biden?
I mean, listen, I can make the argument that President Biden is a much worse threat to democracy. And the reason for that is President Biden is the first candidate in history, the first president in history that has used the federal agencies to censor political speech.
That's third-party candidate RFK Jr. flipping the script on CNN and stunning them with something rarely seen on that network, the truth. Welcome to Nerk News, I'm Nerkish, and boy oh boy did things backfire for establishment media hacks in this interview, because they'd clearly brought RFK on to frame him as sympathetic to Trump, who they think is the greatest threat to democracy, but thankfully RFK wasn't having any of it.
So to censor his opponent, I can say that because I just won a case in the Federal Court of Appeals and now before the Supreme Court. It shows that he started censoring not just me. 37 hours after he took the oath of office, he was censoring me. No president in the country has ever done that. The greatest threat to democracy is not somebody who questions election returns, but a president of the United States who used the power of his office to force the social media companies, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, to open a portal and give the access to that portal to the FBI, to the CIA, to the IRS, to CISA, to NIH, to censor his political critics. President Biden, for the first president in history, to use his power over the Secret Service to deny Secret Service protection to one of his political opponents for political reasons. He's weaponizing a federal agency.
You know, you can see the sneaky little game they're playing here, and it's one I've seen liberals do to moderates I know in real life. It's basically a trap where they make an assumption or a declaration about Trump, and if you say anything contrary to it, that means you're a Trump fanatic or an insurrectionist or a conspiracy theorist, or in RFK's case, in cahoots with them, and that means your opinions can be immediately discarded.
Those are really critical threats to democracy.
Donald Trump, of course, tried to overturn a free and fair election. He tried to overturn one, right? He's still fighting in court.
Yes.
How is that not a threat to democracy?
We put the guarantee of freedom of expression in the First Amendment because all of our other constitutional rights depend on it. If you have a government that can silence its opponent, it has license for any atrocity.
So just to be clear, you're saying you could make an argument that President Biden is a worse threat to democracy than Donald Trump. That's what you just said.
But who else has ever tried to censor? What president in history has ever tried to censor political opponents? What president has weaponized the federal agency?
You know, I always find these sorts of interviews where things go off the rails to be a little crazy because it's like the guest is being prosecuted by the host or something. I mean, they don't even try to hide their bias anymore. This lady never addressed a single thing RFK was talking about because if she did, the drones in her audience might experience a flicker of curiosity and they can't have that. But what he was saying was absolutely true. We know it's true. They've said as much. They admitted that they were coordinating with big tech to silence people.
This is a big issue of misinformation, specifically on the pandemic. In terms of actions, Alex, that we have taken, or we're working to take, I should say, from the federal government, we've increased disinformation research and tracking within the Surgeon General's office. We're flagging problematic posts for Facebook that spread disinformation. We're working with doctors and medical professionals to connect to connected medical experts who are popular with their audiences with accurate information and boost trusted content. So we're helping get trusted content out there, providing for Facebook or other platforms to measure and publicly share the impact of misinformation on their platform and the audience it's reaching. Also with the public, with all of you, to create robust enforcement strategies that bridge their properties and provide transparency about rules. You shouldn't be banned from one platform and not others for providing misinformation out there.
I don't know about you, but that sounds pretty dangerous to me, CNN. But let me know what you think. Who's the bigger threat to democracy, Democrats or Republicans? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. That stuff really does help us out. Until then, this has been Nerk News. Thanks for watching. Bye!